So this is the morning of Erev Pesach, and this is a morning where more usually many of us might be busying ourselves in the kitchen and doing the final Chametz cleanups and preparing perhaps for company or creating dishes to take to company. And this year is certainly different from all other years. Some of us might still be busy in the kitchen, but preparing for a smaller number of those who will eat, perhaps just ourselves, and finding different ways this year to be connected with others for the Seder experience. So we're going to take a little bit of time this morning to center ourselves, to prepare for entering Passover, and to take one of the traditional rituals that some might have done last night or this morning, Batikat Chametz, the searching out of the Chametz that might be remaining, and to take that as a symbolic allegory for our meditation this morning. But as with all of our morning meditations, I want to begin with our opening morning blessings of gratitude, expressing thanks for the gift of this day. And even though Passover is going to be so different, if we are celebrating Passover, if we are eating any symbolic foods, if we are connecting with anybody else in the course of observing and celebrating, then those are blessings. And in the midst of this, we can take them in with deep, deep appreciation this morning. Moda ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam. Moda ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam. Moda ani lefanecha. Moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam. Moda ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam. Moda ani lefanecha, moda invite us to seat ourselves in a way that feels comfortable, spine straight, feet grounded, hands gently placed on our laps, on our legs. And just bring the attention to the breath. searching for Chametz. This morning is about cleaning out the last of the schmutz, the sticky remains, the tightness, the constrictedness that we want to be freed from. And so in this first meditation this morning, the breath meditation, use it as an opportunity to breathe deeply in, and with each in-breath, just notice if there are any parts of the body that are feeling tight, that are feeling that they're not in that place of gentle, soft relaxation. And with each in-breath, breathe into that place of tightness, of tension, of constriction. And with each out-breath, just gently massage that space open. Gently call upon it to release and relax. We'll take a few minutes in breath meditation, scanning from our head down to our feet. Noticing where we are in this moment, feeling ourselves grounded in our seat. As we bring our attention back to the room we're in, and the words in front of us, Elohai neshama shenatata bi tohorahi. God, the soul you have placed within me, she is pure. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tohorahi. 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 Allow yourself to float in the energy of the vibration of the chant for a moment or two. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. So this morning, the ritual of B'dikat Chametz. Traditionally, sometime after sundown, the day before Pesach, one would take a candle and a feather and search out the corners of the house, looking for any remaining chametz. Over the generations, it became something of that would engage children. sometimes carefully placed pieces of bread would be left for them to find. And so clearly the act was symbolic. It was a way of, after one thought one had cleansed one's home of the chametz, that one would do this extra act to demonstrate real desire to be cleared of the chametz, and to then be in a situation after having done this ritual to declare that if there was any left that you had missed, that you were sort of declaring it ownerless. And there are even contracts that are used today in more traditional circles to officially designate chametz that you might have boxed up, left in the garage, or delivered to a neighbor in more normal situations, as not yours temporarily for the week of Pesach. In our home, we do it a little differently. We just have signs up on various cupboards with big crosses saying, do not enter. So we clearly mark which closet we've put the Passover food in, and other areas of the kitchen or the basement are just off limits for the week. But here's a traditional text. This came from the Rabbinical Assembly Haggadah, which is a conservative movement, that demonstrates that from the get-go, B'dikat Chametz wasn't just a physical act. It was always a symbolic act. Yehi ratzon milchanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotai. And it continues, Adonai, God of our ancestors, just as I have removed all chametz from my home and from my ownership, so may I evict the evil inclination from my heart, and may you dislodge all evil from the earth. So the word there for the evil inclination is the yetzer hara. What's this about? Why is removal of chametz connected to the yetzer hara? We find early commentaries that make this connection. Below is one from the French medieval commentator Rashi, who is commenting on a phrase in the Talmud that talks about the yeast in the dough is symbolic of the yetzer hara, the yeast in the dough, that which makes dough rise and get puffy up. That's equivalent to the yetzer hara. Now, what's important to remember is that within Jewish tradition, we talk about two inclinations, two aspects of human nature, the yetzer hatov, the good inclination, and the yetzer hara. And literally, ra is evil, but the rabbis go to great lengths to explain that we are all a combination of both of these things, and that in fact, if we were just one without the other, we could not exist. The yetzer hara is about our will and our desires, and having a will to do something, having a goal, having determination, having desires that create children, that create innovation, that help us to aspire to be more and do more. That in itself is not bad. But the yetzer hara taken to an extreme, like any of our traits, that when it's out of balance, it's a little bit like the way yeast works in dough. If you get it's a chemical balance. And I'm not a bread maker, but I am deeply admiring of those who are. And I do know that if you get that balance wrong, what you end up with is something where if the yeast is too much, is that it's kind of sour. It's unpleasant to taste. And that sort of soured yeastiness is a sign that the chemical balance didn't work out quite right. And so it is with the yetzer hara. And so this ritual of B'dikat Chametz is as much an invitation in the eyes of the rabbis for us to look within and to notice and pay attention to that place of sourness within us. Those voices that judge and that constrict our own possibilities of connection and of enjoying being, because we are tightly holding on to things that have caused us hurt in the past, or anger, things in which our ego was hurt. We weren't treated the way we expected to be, where the ego has expectations, and then we react, or we have feelings that are caught up in the way that ego got bruised. And if we can go into those recesses within with real honesty, with a light, holding a candle to those aspects of ourselves, and to release them, to let them go, then we are facilitating our own exit from Mitzrayim, from the narrow, constricted places. And we're giving ourselves a little more freedom, as well as giving others, because it will change how we interact with others in the world. So that's the teaching, and the meditation for this morning is a chant. Before we get to the chant, I put in this additional slide that was shared by another teacher yesterday, and something that I'd come across before but had forgotten, that the Hebrew words for chametz and matzah, if you look closely at the letters and the sound they make, they reinforce this message about what it is to release ourselves from the chametz of our lives and allow for the matzah, the pure essence, the pure soul, to be that which shines through. You'll see that 2 Hebrew letters have been underlined, that the word chametz has a mem and sadi at the end. It wouldn't normally be written like this, because the letter sadi has a different form when it's the last letter of the word. But it's written this way just so you can see the 2 letters side by side. And the word matzah has those same 2 letters, the mem and the sadi at the beginning. So what is different about the word chametz and the word matzah? The first letter of chametz is the letter chet. And you'll see, if you compare it with the last letter of matzah, which is the letter hey, that these letters are almost identical. The chet, though, is closed up. The 2 legs go all the way to the roof of the letter, whereas the letter hey has an opening on one side for the air to come through. So even the sound that they make, chametz, it's like something's tight and caught, and you want to like cough it up. And for those with cats, it's the furball sound, right? We want to get that furball of schmutz out of ourselves and release it. And the hey, the open breathiness. So this inner searching to release ourselves from the and make room for the breathiness of the hey. It's a wonderful image with these 2 words. And here's the chant from Proverbs. Ner Adonai nishmat Adam, profes kol chadrei vaten. My soul is the flame of God that searches the inner chambers. That English rendering is by Rabbi Shefa Gold, who wrote the melody that we'll use for this chant. And she writes, this practice from Proverbs defines the soul as an aspect of God that is pure awareness, which can be activated as a force of holy curiosity as we explore the inner landscape. So we'll chant this chant together for a little while, and then in the silence that follows, I'm going to invite you to envision a flame, a flashlight, a torch, a candle, and to enter into some of those inner chambers and to notice, where is that sourness? Where is that bitterness? Where is that constricted of life experience that with holy curiosity, you might be able to spend some time examining and releasing. Ner Adonai nishmat adam chafetz kol chadrei vatem. Ner Adonai nishmat adam chafetz kol chadrei vatem. My soul is the flame of God that searches the inner chambers. My soul is the flame of God that searches the inner chambers. Ner Adonai nishmat adam chafetz kol chadrei vatem. Ner Adonai nishmat adam chafetz kol chadrei vatem. My soul is the flame of God that searches the inner chambers. My soul is the flame of God that searches the inner chambers. Ner Adonai nishmat adam chafetz kol chadrei vatem. Ner Adonai nishmat adam chafetz kol chadrei vatem. My soul is the flame of God that searches the inner chambers. My soul is the flame of God that searches the inner chambers. So once more, breathing deeply into those inner spaces within and seeing them light up with the gentle glow of a light that enables us to go within. When we ask ourselves, what are those places of sour feelings, bruised ego, with holy curiosity to gently examine them, maybe laugh at ourselves or ask ourselves, in what way does it serve us to hold on to that? Perhaps we can let it go and clean out those chambers so that the pure essence, the matzah, the open breathi of God's inner light within us can shine through unconstricted. Ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Wishing everyone a Pesach Sameach, Passover, one in which we remain in our homes in safety. For those who are on the front lines working, may they go out and return in safety, for health, for healing, for all in this springtime of renewal.